Well, happening now, police are providing an update into a murder investigation in the Black Creek and Trethewey area. Let's listen in.
That is the shooting death of Marvin Baah, 26 years old, of Toronto. On Monday, October 7th, at approximately 8:00 p.m., Toronto Police Communications received multiple 911 calls for a shooting at 83 Clearview Heights. 12 division officers attended and located Mr. Baah suffering from gunshot wounds. They made attempts to save his life at scene, and those attempts were continued when he was en route to hospital via emergency run. And unfortunately, at hospital, he was in fact pronounced deceased and succumbed to his injuries. As a result of that, my team at the Homicide and Missing Persons Unit took carriage of the investigation, and we have been investigating ever since. At this point, I'm here to provide this update, but most importantly, I'm here to appeal to witnesses who were present at the time that Mr. Baah was shot. What I know at this point is minimal. We've been investigating since Monday, October 7th, and there are very few witnesses who have come forward. There's also minimal video coverage in that area, so at this point, I do not have any information with regard to suspects to share, and I also don't have any confirmation about any individuals who were driving vehicles at the time who may have been involved. What I can tell you from the forensic examination of the scene, as well as the minimal witness information I've received at this point, is that I believe that Mr. Baah was shot in the rear stairwell of 83 Clearview Heights. He ultimately came to rest in the parking lot outside of there, but what I know for certain, based on the minimal video that I do have, is that there were many people in that parking lot. There are many people in our city who are aware of what happened to Mr. Baah, and at this point, I'm appealing to witnesses in our city, not only for my homicide investigation, but for Mr. Baah and Mr. Baah's family to come forward, contact us, do the right thing, and let us know what happened to Mr. Baah in that stairwell. Please contact Toronto Police 12 Division at 416-808-1200, or contact Crime Stoppers if you wish to remain anonymous. And at this point, I'm happy to take questions.
Where is your frustration at right now, knowing that there was people there may be video, photos, details, but no one's coming forward?
So I think what's most important is it's less about my level of frustration, and it's more my concern about Mr. Baah, justice for him and for his family. So I have faith in the people of Toronto. I have faith in people doing the right thing, and the people who were back there and saw what happened, that they will, at this point, after doing this appeal, call us at 12 Division, or at bare minimum, if they don't want to give their names, that they will contact Crime Stoppers.
Detective, we know that there is a sort of a problematic encampment right out back behind the building. I spoke to the local councillor about it. She says that, the city's been trying to get it cleared for quite some time. There's dangers involved with it and stuff. Do you think the group of people that was there at the time of the shooting are part of the encampment, or the people who come and loiter and get dropped off in Ubers to go hang out back there?
So I can't really comment on whether or not they're related. I'm absolutely investigating every possibility.
Are people from the encampment talking to you or providing any information?
So as I mentioned, we've had very minimal cooperation from witnesses.
Was there a gathering at the time when the shooting took place?
So at minimum, I can say that there was some sort of gathering, as there were many people back there, but in terms of it being any type of formal gathering, a party of any sort, I can't really comment on that.
And any indication that the victim spent time socialized in this group?
I can't say whether or not he socialized in the group. I think it's important to recognize, yes, he was there, and there were many people there. But as far as I have information of, he was not involved with us at all, with the police. So if he was there and he was hanging out, that's perfectly within his right. But in terms of him being involved in anything untoward, I don't have any information with regard to that.
Do you think he may have been targeted? Or any indication?
So at this point, I don't know. As I mentioned, or I'm not sure if I mentioned, that we don't actually have coverage of that stairwell. So to say whether or not he was targeted, I'm not sure. But I can say that we are certainly investigating every possibility.
You mentioned that there was a large gathering and many people. How many would you estimate? Would you say hundreds, dozens?
So dozens, if I had to guess, yes.
How much do you know about victims' movements prior to getting from what was doing that day? Was he at home that day? Did he live in this building? Was this his home?
Yeah, so this was not his home. He was visiting that area, but in terms of his movements throughout the day, that forms part of the investigation. So I don't want to get into the details, and I definitely don't want to speculate. But I can at least say that he was in that area, and he does not reside there.
What do we know about the victim himself? I mean, is there anything else you can tell us about him?
So as far as I've been told by his family, he was a student. I don't know specifically what area he was studying in, but they had very, very positive things to say about him, that he was a lovely gentleman and just loved his family and loved his friends and was there hanging out, and that they don't believe that he was involved in anything untoward, and I don't have any evidence to support that either.